In this video, I want to do a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk about is xTool. The second thing we're going to talk about is the new products coming out from xTool this year. If you've been on my channel before, you know that I do laser product reviews. And I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of xTool laser reviews and they're always very well made and put together. And I know that sounds like I'm a fanboy, and I am, but I'm not afraid to tell you when something doesn't look right. And you can tell that by my reviews. I'll tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly anytime I see it. Yeah, they have their issues, and I'd like them to fix a couple of them. If you're interested in seeing what issues those are, head over and see some of my reviews on the xTool lasers. So the president of xTool came out and made a statement that they had 16 new products they were going to release this year. The first product they released was the F1 Lite. It was a cut down version of the F1 that doesn't have an IR laser on it. If you're interested in seeing that review, you can go look at it right here. The second item that they released was the apparel printer. And if you want to check that out, I'll put a link down below where you can go check it out. I'm not sure it's been released yet, but they've come out with it. Now they're announcing something that just kind of blew me away. So this all started, this video is because I got an email from xTool and the subject line was metalworking finally made simple, and it intrigued me. So I opened up the email, and in this email they described something. It's called the MetalFab laser welder and CNC cutter. I started reading about it and I started looking at some of the videos they sent me, and I was extremely intrigued, and I wanted to make this video. I don't have one yet, but I want to make this video and talk about everything it's supposed to have. And I want to know what you guys think of this piece of equipment. It's a little bit different, but that's not surprising since xTool is always at the forefront of new products and innovative products. So let's start and check out what this is and what it has on it, what it's not. And at the end, I'll give you my thoughts. So here's a first look at what it's going to look like, and it just doesn't disappoint. xTool always makes their items look so futuristic and nice looking. But I know from experience that something looking really nice and futuristic doesn't mean it's going to work well. So let's look at what it can do. As I said in the beginning, I am not a welder, but I'll tell you what, when I watch these videos, they are just amazing that somebody's holding on to this and just turning it and it's welding together. I don't know if it's really that simple. I know a couple of welders that are friends of mine, and I don't think it's that simple, but they make it look really simple right here. They're gonna go ahead and bang on this thing and see if it'll break. It's a pretty strong weld, I guess. Like I said, I've never welded, but that's pretty good. Looks like he broke the metal there. Oh, that's crazy. So in this video, they're removing rust with the laser. But that is wild. I've done a little bit of rust removal with the xTool and small tools, but that is just crazy. It looks like it works pretty good. I've never done welding underwater either, but they seem to do it here, and that is just crazy. I figured it would short that machine out. It looks like it's a good weld too. I know there's been times that I've needed something to cut metal, and that is crazy. 10 millimeters, I'm not positive. It could cut. I think what's really cool about this system is that it integrates the welder and the CNC together. You can see here that the handle is put into a clamp, and now it's a laser cutter. from what I understand, they're going to have two different systems, a 1200 watt system and an 800 watt system. One of those systems is going to have the wire wheel integrated into it. The other one will have a separate wire wheel feeder, I guess. So I always love when my lasers have cameras so I can see where to place my items on the piece of wood or whatever it is. They have a dual camera in this system that's going to allow you to precisely put the cuts exactly where you want on that metal. You can see here how fast it cuts through that metal. This is unreal. They have something called Flex Track, and it's a sensor monitors the distance between the metal and the laser head, and it adjusts the Z-axis focus. This part is called obstacle free. It prevents collision with finished parts if they may lift up or something. That is cool. They need to integrate that to their woodworking lasers too. This smart flow is supposed to increase your speeds when cutting out circles and squares and other things that are repetitive, and that's pretty fast. There it is. That is the MetalFab laser welder and CNC cutter. My final thoughts on this. One, it looked extremely easy to use. That's important because I've never used a welder before. I've never used a CNC cutter for metal before. So I think ease of use is going to be very important for this product to take off. So my next thought is they're combining 3 tools into one. You're going to have the laser welder, the CNC cutter, and it's also a rust remover. So that's 3 different products right there. So it makes sense to get those all into one, I think. So my question is, will this do what they claim it'll do? That is my burning question right there. And my number 2 question is, what will the price point be? So I was curious about, will this do everything it claims? So I reached out to one of their testers, and I had a discussion with her and her husband about the claims that they're making on this. Now, they couldn't go into too much detail on it because they are under a non-disclosure agreement. They told me that they're still doing testing, but every claim that xTool has made about this is true. Plus, they found new uses for it, and they said it was super easy. They felt that anybody would be able to use it. That's a bold claim, and I guess only time will tell when they release this thing and people start using it. So as for pricing, I'm not really sure what they're going to be releasing the price for this as, but I did a little bit of study, and a CNC machine runs about $12,000. A laser welder, I found one that would be similar for about $15,000. And then finally, a rust remover, which would be about $3,700 to $4,000. So you're easily looking at $31,000, $30,000 to $31,000 for a machine that could do all 3. I'd love for you guys to head on down to the comments and make a guess at what they're going to release it for. I'd be really interested in knowing what you guys think about that. My guess would be right around between $8,000 to $10,000. We'll see how it goes. I may be wrong on this. It may be $25,000, $30,000 itself. I don't know. But head on down and tell me what you think the price point will be on this. So this should be released the 13th, and I released it on the 13th because they'll be opening their page or revealing their page for this product tomorrow on the 14th. And I wanted to get my views in there to see what I thought about this. And I want to know what you guys think about this machine. Is this something you would use in your shop? Is there something that you think would be a waste of money for you? I'm always interested in it. Myself, I've always wanted to get into metalwork with my creations, whether it's a bowl on the lathe that I make, making a stand for that bowl, or a table that I make, because I do make tables and I'd love to incorporate welding into that table, doing the base and all that stuff. I've never done metalwork. It's always been something that's kind of given me angst, I guess. But I think this laser welder looks a lot easier than all the rest of them I've seen. I want some of the welders out there to tell me what you think about this thing. Do you think it's going to be an awesome piece of kit, or is it going to be something that is going to be a fad or something? So let me know. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions about this, if I have the answer, I'll give it to you. Just remember, I don't have the pricing, and I don't have one of them, so I don't know if the claims are true on this, but I'll answer anything I can. All right. Until next video, stay cool.